Gold hit what? Gold just crossed $5,400 an ounce. Silver is at $117. And if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear what's about to happen to copper. The biggest wealth transfer in history is happening right now, and your neighbor who still thinks cash is king has no idea. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we make finance actually make sense without putting you to sleep. No boring lectures, no words that sound like they came from a Star Wars convention, just real talk about money. And today, we're talking about why precious metals are absolutely losing their minds right now. Gold and silver just smashed all-time highs, and the question is copper about to join the party? Stick around because this is wild. All right, imagine you're in 5th grade and you have a best friend who's always been super reliable. They share their snacks, help with homework, total MVP. But then you notice something weird. They're borrowing lunch money from everyone and never paying it back. They're making promises they can't keep. Suddenly you're like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't trust Tommy with my Pokemon card collection anymore. That's basically what's happening between countries and the US dollar right now. Except instead of Pokemon cards, we're talking about trillions of dollars. And instead of Tommy, it's Uncle Sam. For about 80 years, the US dollar has been the world's favorite currency. It's what we call the reserve currency, which is fancy talk for saying everyone uses it. If Japan wants to buy oil from Saudi Arabia, they use dollars. If someone in Brazil wants to sell coffee to Germany, dollars. The dollar has been more popular than the cool kids' lunch table. But here's where things get spicy. Countries are breaking up with the dollar. And I'm not talking about a friendly breakup. This is more like changing your relationship status to, it's complicated, and then blocking them on everything. Why? 2 words. Debt. Problems. The United States has $36 trillion in debt. That's trillion with a T. If you spent $1 million every single day since the day Jesus was born, you still wouldn't have spent $36 trillion. You'd still have over 35 trillion to go. Think about that. To cover this debt, the US does 2 things. First, they sell treasury bonds, which are basically fancy IOUs. Hey, lend us money and we'll totally pay you back, promise. Second, they print more money. Well, digitally created, but same difference. Here's the problem with printing money. Imagine you're playing Monopoly and you're losing badly. So you're the banker and you just print yourself a bunch of extra money. What happens? Everyone gets mad and the money becomes worthless because there's way too much of it. That's called inflation, and that's exactly what's been happening to the dollar. Your groceries cost more, gas costs more, everything costs more, but your paycheck definitely doesn't keep up. It's like the world's worst magic trick. So countries are watching this dumpster fire and thinking, we need an exit strategy. What are they doing? 2 big things. First, they're selling US Treasury bonds. China used to hold over $1 trillion worth. Now they're down to 770 billion. That's like unfriending someone, but on a national scale. Second, they're buying gold like it's the last season of their favorite show. Central banks bought over 1,000 tons of gold in 2024. That's the weight of about 7 blue whales, which would be a really weird thing to buy, but you get the point. China's been buying gold every single month for over 2 years. Poland bought 100 tons. Even tiny countries like Mongolia are stocking up. Why? Because gold is what we call a safe haven asset. Let me break this down with video game logic, because apparently that's how we learn now. In most games, you've got powerful weapons that help you level up fast. Super exciting, but risky. You could lose them or they become worthless in the next update. Those are risk on assets in real life. Stocks, crypto, tech companies, the exciting stuff. Then you've got your basic health potions and armor. Boring, but they'll always protect you. Those are risk-off assets. Gold is the ultimate health potion of investing. It's been valuable for thousands of years. You can't print more of it, it doesn't rot, and civilizations have fought wars over it. Here's something cool. Gold and the stock market usually move in opposite directions. Like a seesaw. When stocks go up, gold goes down because everyone's feeling confident. When stocks crash, gold goes up because everyone's panicking. It's financial physics. But right now, both are going up at the same time. Gold hit $5,411 per ounce, all-time high. Stock market, also all-time highs. This is like seeing cats and dogs become best friends. It's weird and it means something bigger is happening. The smart money sees trouble coming and they're buying everything. It's like wearing both your lucky socks and your lucky underwear to a big test. You're covering all bases. Now let's talk about silver, because silver just went absolutely bonkers. $117 per ounce. 4 years ago, it was $18. That's up over 500%. But here's what makes silver the overachiever of precious metals. Gold is basically just for storing value and making your grandmother's jewelry. That's it. Silver actually does stuff. Your smartphone has silver in it. Solar panels need silver. Electric cars use way more silver than regular cars. Medical equipment uses silver because it literally kills bacteria. It's like the Swiss Army knife of metals. So silver gets hit with double demand. People want it as a safe haven like gold, but industries also need it for actual production. It's having its cake and eating it too. And here's the kicker. We might be running out of silver. Not like completely out, but the easy stuff is getting harder to find. And the world is going through this green energy transition thing. More solar panels, more electric cars, more everything that needs silver. But we're not mining enough to keep up. It's like everyone's suddenly wanting the new PlayStation, but Sony only made 12 of them. If you're still watching and think this is a crazy eye-opener, smash that like button and subscribe, because we're about to talk about the metal that nobody's paying attention to, and it might be the biggest opportunity of all. Copper. Currently sitting at $6 per pound, looking all innocent. Now I know what you're thinking. Copper? Really? That's the boring metal in my pennies. But stay with me. Copper is nicknamed Dr. Copper by finance nerds. Why? Because copper is so essential to economic activity that its price tells you what's really happening in the economy. If copper goes up, factories are building, construction is booming, economy is growing. If copper tanks, everything's slowing down. It's like an economic lie detector test. Copper is in literally everything. The wiring in your house, copper. Pipes bringing water to your sink, copper. Your computer, your car, your air conditioner, all copper. AI and cloud data centers need copper for high-efficiency power delivery, thermal management, liquid cooling, and short-distance data transmission. But here's where it gets insane. That same green energy transition that needs silver also needs massive amounts of copper. An electric car uses 183 pounds of copper. That's 4 times more than a regular car. A single wind turbine uses 15,000 pounds of copper. Solar farms, charging stations, electrical grids, it's all copper. Here's the math that should terrify mining companies. We might need twice as much copper in the next 20 years as we've used in all of human history combined. Every copper pipe from ancient Rome until today, we need double that in just 20 years. But opening a new copper mine takes 10 years. 10 years from finding it to actually mining it. And we're not opening enough new mines. So demand is going way up, supply can't keep up, and prices have only one direction to go. Spoiler alert, it's up. So let's connect the dots. Countries don't trust the dollar anymore because the US keeps printing money like a teenager with their parents' credit card. So they're buying gold for safety, silver because it's both safe and useful, and they're quietly securing copper because the entire future runs on it. This isn't just metals going up. This is the global financial system having a midlife crisis. Gold will probably keep climbing. As long as governments keep printing money and central banks keep buying, gold goes higher. Some people think 6,000 or 7,000 per ounce. Silver is even more interesting because it's got both the safety thing and the we literally need it for technology thing. Could hit $150 or $200. But copper? Copper is the sleeper hit nobody's talking about. At $6 now, it could easily double or triple in the next few years. $12, maybe $18 per pound. And that's being conservative. Here's what this means for you. If the dollar keeps losing value, everything priced in dollars gets more expensive. That's why people are looking at hard assets. Stuff that holds value even when paper money becomes fancy toilet paper. You can't print more gold. You can't create silver from thin air. And you definitely can't just make copper appear because you want it to. I'm not saying run out and buy gold bars and bury them in your backyard like some financial doomsday prepper. But you should understand what's happening. The world is changing. The people who do well are the ones who see it coming. The people who get wrecked are the ones watching cat videos while the financial system shifts under their feet. My challenge for you? Don't just watch this and forget about it. Actually pay attention. Look at gold prices, silver prices, copper prices. Watch what central banks do. This stuff is public information, but most people ignore it until it's too late. And hey, if you learned something in this video, I've got another one right there on the right side of your screen. It'll make everything we just talked about make even more sense. Look, gold at 5,411, silver at 117. These aren't just random numbers, they're warning signals. The financial Titanic might be headed for an iceberg, and these metals are the lifeboats. Copper at $6 is sitting there quietly, but it might be next. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Ignore it and hope for the best? Or actually learn this stuff and prepare? Drop a comment and let me know. Do you think copper is next? Have you bought any metals, or are you still team cash under the mattress? Do you want to see a video about what they call digital gold? Bitcoin. I read every comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you even doing? Hit that button. We're building a community of people who actually get this stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.